This is the informative brochure on Epstein-Barr virus by Richard Bias and Arisha Johnson. So you're probably not familiar with the name Epstein-Barr virus. You might have heard of it as EBV, or you could have heard of human herpes virus 4. You've probably heard of one of the biggest things it causes, which is infectious mononucleosis, or what we call mono. So some background information. In 1961, Anthony Epstein was attending a lecture that was put on by Dennis Burkett in London. Burkett was trying to find the virus that was causing some cancers he was seeing in Africa and some of the kids over there. This took an interest to Epstein, so he ended up getting an assistant to help him research by the name of Yvonne Barr. And they took a few years, and they were able to find this virus in 1964. They named it the Epstein-Barr virus. Epstein was also really big into the electron microscope, which was a really new thing at the time, which is what helped them discover this. So it's a member of the herpes virus family and the leading causative agent of infectious mononucleosis. Morphology, it's an envelope spherical particle. It's 120 to 220 nanometers in diameter. Some of the symptoms, if you came down with something like mono, it's fatigue, fever, sore throat, head and body aches, swollen lymph nodes. You could get swelling in the liver, your spleen. Some people get a rash. So it's spread by saliva, which is why we call mono the kissing disease. You can also get it through kissing, sharing drinks and food, using the same eating utensils, toothbrushes. Kids can spread it amongst each other if they're playing with toys and have drooled on the toys or their hands or whatever. There's no tests like where we're seeing people get these COVID swabs and you get a flu swab or you get a strep swab, whatever. They don't have any kind of like a direct test like that. You would get a blood test that would detect for the antibodies to see if the virus has infected you or not. And there's no specific treatment or cure for EBV. You could get treated for some of the cancers that it can contribute to, or you're just going to end up taking stuff to relieve your symptoms, drinking fluids, staying hydrated. If you've got mono, you're going to be drinking plenty of water, getting plenty of rest, and you're going to take over-the-counter stuff for pain and fever, like Tylenol. So it's one of the most common viruses in the world. Over 95% of the adult population are going to come down with it. It's also contributed to about 200,000 cancers. Most people that get infected with EBV in their lifetime never even know it. They might not have any symptoms. They could remain asymptomatic the entire time. They might get mild symptoms. They might come down with mono for a little while. And they're all going to be usually recovered within about 3 months. Here's another little picture of 3 of the virions together. So as far as research, they initially were trying to find a way to keep it from entering the B cells in the body. But the problem with this was that EBV doesn't only infect B cells. It can also infect the epithelial cells that are, in your mouth and throat. So what they're focusing on now is finding a way to keep it from fusing with the B cells and the epithelial cells, which would protect us from the mono and help it protect us from some of these cancers that it attributes to. The reason we picked EBV was just trying to think of something that, not a lot of you guys might be using. It's a really common virus that a lot of us don't really think about. We don't know about anything other than hearing about mono back when you were in school. And you would definitely don't realize that, the same thing that causes that sickness, mono, can also be attributed to cancers later on in life. So this was our presentation. I'm going to attach the file. If you're going to print it out, it folds into a cool little pamphlet that Arisha made. But other than that, good luck and appreciate your time.